Grand Rising, all praise be to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rahakadosh, Barakatah, my Heavenly Father, Abba, all honor and glory to the Most High Living One, the Most High Living One. So here I go again, here we go again, you know. I look at Earth like this. Me personally, I look at Earth like this. We're a plate of food, and someone looking over it. We're a plate of food. Someone looking over it. I mean, look at all the life that's being. I mean, because food gives life. We eat. We eat food to give us life, right? For nutrition or whatnot. Okay. So the Earth is a plate of food. Someone has to be fed off of it. Look at what's being ate. What's being ate. And we ain't talking about the fruits and veggies, the pigs and the cattle, right? Or the chickens and whatnot, quail and so on and so forth. We're talking about people because we're a plate of food. It's a plate of food, and but it's livestock, right? And so we're livestock. You got to be, because people are getting branded certain things. What's a label? A label is a brand, right? Pop, there it is, right on the forehead or on the forearm, on the right hand or something. I don't know, but you're being led somewhere. You're being taken and led somewhere. Where's your right? Rights to what? The earth, to be born? And I say, who didn't come out the poo-poo? Poom-poom. Or, you know what I mean? The GG, is come out of there. Or you're born somewhere else. Because it seems like some people were born somewhere else, in a lab maybe. Lab babies, because they don't relate to you at all. You don't belong, but they belong. It's just like, and then someone tell me, we are the same. Man, look, you got a thing down between your legs. I got arms. I was like, other dudes got them too, and they don't think it's supposed to be there, and they whack it off. So how are we the same? We don't think the same, we don't act the same, but people want to direct us. People right here don't want to be what they want to be and appreciate what they have and hold tight to what they have. If on the roof, stay on the roof. You're in the field, stay in the field. You're in the house, stay in the house. You know what I say? But, yeah. People don't hold on to themselves. They want to change, and they feel like that's evolving or they being themselves. Fine. And they can do that right in front of your eyes, transform, right? But not really, because you know what they were. They still died up underneath the change, at least to you, because you don't want to be a liar. And a person be mad because you don't want to be a liar. A liar is a liar. You know what I mean? If you was born something, you're that. You ain't gonna make me into no liar. I'm sorry that you feel like you something, but you not that something. And I seen what you was. We used to play ball together, and then next thing you know, uh, Jake became Janet. And so I'm like, okay, will you? Hey, listen, I may call you Janet because you want to be called Janet, but I know what you are. And you can't be mad at me because I know and you want me to believe. And I say, oh, use that word. I don't, because I know something. I mean, I literally know this. And then you say something else. That's what you call a bald face lie. A bold face lie, bald face lie. Just lie right to my face. You know what I mean? It's cool. Whatever you're doing. They ain't doing it with you. Someone happy doing it with you. You happy? Be happy. I'm not, in them scriptures it says an abomination. But you do what you do. You live your life. Shouldn't be doing it all out in the open like that, though. But, your business. How do sins reach the heavens? How do sins reach the heavens? We all seen. We plate of food. Remember that. We plate of food, and food is different. It's all varieties of food. And, but I want to be something Yeah, a bone. I'm a bone. You don't want to eat me. I'm a bone. Let these dry bones live. Let these dry bones live. They don't want to eat me. Some people are, I think, related to dinosaurs. The dinosaurs used to eat people, kill people, and alive people wouldn't want people to have stuff. If people had what they needed, people wouldn't be frustrated. But they want you frustrated because they got you hooked. You're talking about the dope fiend down the street when you don't realize you're dope fiend yourself because you want Captain Crunch. You can strike me if you want, but actually it's a promotion because they want the Captain Crunch. They want him peanut butter kind, whatever cereal out there. You can't do too much of that. I mean, my stomach don't agree with milk. I rather get me vitamin D from that salt not shining down. You know, um, well, it was the sun, that portal. I believe it's a portal. You know what I mean? Pour some on me, baby, because I need it. Rain down your manna from heaven. You know what they say? Maybe I'm not talking about nothing. But what are you talking about? You're talking about the scriptures. You could talk all day about the scriptures and read scriptures. We can. But some people just ain't gonna get it. Because they don't want to get it. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear nothing about it. That's why I say study to show thyself approved. So once you study a little bit, then they will probably want more of it. And they will seek more of it themselves. You know, a good preacher, I believe a good preacher or priest teaches his people so they don't have to come back. They start questioning stuff themselves and they start evolving. And around where you're questioning the one you believe in. My Lord, I say, have mercy. You know what I say? Because some believe, some know, and some don't know. Some be like, hey man, that's your sky daddy. Sky daddy ain't doing nothing for you. Really? How do you know? Because, if he wasn't, man, I think I'd probably start moving. I'd probably shut down. I'll shut down. If I ain't linked to a source, you know what I mean? I mean, because we are energy, we are just that. We display it all the time when we doing something for someone else, working hard, even going up and down. How'd he die? On top of me, pumping away. Heart gave out. Finally, maybe he didn't even leave me in this well. He got another wife, two of them, other kids. Son of a, they just said, no, I went off there. But I'm just saying, we are unique, peculiar, very peculiar people. Some of us, anyway. Some is just, you would say mediocre. You're mediocre. You ain't talking about nothing. You're talking about the same thing they talking about, and you're going to do the same thing repeatedly. To me, you're like in a loop. And I try to step outside of the loop, because you can join in the loop, you walk around with the people for a minute. You're like, okay, where we going? What we doing? This is it. This is how we doing. No conversation, and just on a roller coaster, just riding through the life while people just getting murdered, and raped, and I'm like, it ain't not. I'm being solved, we, people say people come along, and they become the mayor, governor, president, whatever, right? And yeah, they did something. What did they do? They solve homelessness. They stop a war. They feed the children. Or they locking the children up. The children kill it. I'm just saying, like what has been accomplished by any person in absolute power. They say corruption breeds corruption, so I ain't met these people, but I can see no, they're heartless, you know. Kanye, it should be so heartless, you know. Genuine, the world is so cold, and yeah, people know it's cold outside, they don't care. You can't lock you up. You outside. You know, they got more than you. They know they going home. You know, if I see you on the street, it gives me a reason to give thanks to the Father because I got a roof overhead. You know, even if it's a car or whatever, I got something more than someone else has. So I ain't trying to make it worse. Now, if somebody doing something, you know, you used to chase bank robbers. I ain't never known you chase people working. They working, trying to make it better. I'm gonna chase you. You chase you right out of here. No, you can't stay here. It's safe, man. It's a lot of people just don't care, you know. And when you know, they don't. Some may do, but you know when they do, you know when they don't. And yeah, so I just stay to myself. Like, I mean, of course, I got people and I got folks and I got kids and strangers too that I met, you know, ain't strangers no more. Met them. Now, after that, what is the interaction like? Where does the hostility come from? Where does the hate come from? Like, I don't want you to have nothing. You ain't got nothing but yourself on a concrete slab at night. Yeah, how you get that tint? How you get that? No, you can't have that there. You know, we sell them, but you can't have it there. There's a designated place for that tint. Hey man, I'm just trying to sleep. I'm a move anyway. You know, haven't you ever moved? You know, this is just for a moment, time and space. Hopefully, I'll pull myself up by the bootstraps. Since you ain't you gonna help me get no, well, I ain't got no boots, but yeah, help me get some boots. You know, so I can pull myself up from the bootstraps. You're just gonna talk mess and then just kick me in my rump and tase me and do all this other stuff and to say I'm just effed up, as if the world ain't effed up. They come out of the world, you know. He is of the world, is not of me. But you go right ahead and do what you do. You know, do unto others as you wish to be done. Or, yeah, I just say, man, if a person ain't got nothing, why mess with them? Give them some, if anything. If you're going to have a conversation with them, what are you doing right there? Man, what it look like? You look like I want to be here. You see this sign, man? You see this sign? That's a humble stuff, man, to me. Because I don't want to get out with no sign, you know. And yeah, man, I need something. Need some food. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I rather say, start at the stomach. You caused it. You the one got hungry. It wasn't my liver. It wasn't my kidney. It wasn't my lungs that wanted something. It was you. So I say addiction. People talk about the dope fiends. Well, we consume, man. We consume everything because they advertise it. You gotta go Walmart shopping, you know, whatever. Going, yeah, I might be a window shopper. Don't mean I ain't got a couple dollars in my pocket. I got a couple dollars in my pocket, but I look at it, nah, that ain't gonna cook for me. Nah, that ain't gonna talk to me. Nah, you ain't got to have it. You ain't got to have it. You got to have it because you gotta have it. So that makes you an addict. I'm sorry. Go ahead, you know. Be mad if you want, you know. I'm addicted to some things. That's my business. But they ain't robbing, stealing, killing to get it, you know, because then I know it ain't worth it. You know, they had to do that. They're doing that from a person. It's theirs. It ain't mine. It's theirs. They ain't taking it. I'm really strung out. You know, you're really strung out. You're doing anything. Yeah, now you're doing something strange for some change. You know, so, but I ain't said enough. This is a long video. I haven't done long video, and I'm just talking, communicating, giving understanding, and my thought process. Well, how I look at some things. You know, we can always go deeper, just like you can, if you ever spoke from your heart, from what's inside of you. What the Father said, hey, think not what thou shalt say. I put it on your tongue. Your tongue ain't mine, but you want to try to tame my tongue and, and tell me how to conduct and live my life. But I ain't did nothing in your life. I ain't messed up nothing. You know what I mean? Whatever going on in your life. You chose that path, or the Father chose that path. But to say I'm on the wrong path, or I need to get it right, or I need to, no, I don't. I'm gonna tell you like it is. People need to mind their business because you don't obey the command. So, because I can say, cling to your wife and teach her, cling to your wife. You know what I mean? Is everyone clinging to their wives? You know what I mean? Or their husbands. Husband and husband, wife and wifing. Whatever. Life is lifing. But don't be trying to put me in a box. You know, I ain't baby. You can't put me in the corner neither. Where's Patrick? You're out. Hey, listen. Should he still be? Was he young? Was he old? Middle age? What? People come and people go. I know names and I remember faces. Maybe it's a part of my purpose to remember names and remember faces. You know, two witnesses. What are they? Your eyes and your ears. I'll tell you one thing, they ain't mine, but I can hear you if you're talking, and I can see you if you're walking in my direction, right? What comes next? What's the conclusion? Because I didn't actually start walking this way. You don't have to listen to me. Listen to your inner self. Listen to your higher power that you say you know or believe in. You can believe in it or know that is true. Yeah, say that was a horn right there. That's my horn, because they ain't got now. Right, man. The shofar, you know. That's the horn, the trumpet blow on. Confirmation for me. Maybe for you. Maybe you understand it. Maybe you don't. You know, it's usually free. If it's freely given to me, I freely give it to you. If it's a message, because some may stop and talk, you know. Was it just me? Am I searching for fortune and fame? Where it gonna come from? You know what I mean? Because people want you to sign contracts, you know. I had a family member, you know, say, hey, I'm gonna need you to sign this contract, though. I'm like, don't you know me? Why I sign the contract? Just pay me for what you want. You know, what do you want? Because I don't even know what you're talking about. You know, a contract, you must like the way I speak. I got a powerful voice. Don't you? Unless you can't speak. And if you can't speak, why is it? Who silenced you? You were born that way, and hey, don't know nothing about that. But if you speak, who silenced you from speaking? What oath did you take to where you can't speak about the real things in life? You just, that ain't happening over there. You right in this. These are the United States, right? I'm just saying, and there's a lot of stuff going on, facts, and so, and I know I ain't the cause of that. Maybe we are. Maybe we are the if I'm part of that problem, is because I'm part of the covenant, and it ain't got nothing to do with me. That's the Father's will be done. Still, you know what I mean? They ain't, yeah. Oh, glory, hallelujah. So he say, be you. Be you, and be genuine, because we all got a destination. We may not know when we're going to get there, but one day we're going to get there. Right now, we don't know. Tomorrow ain't came yet, so we don't even know. We don't even know. You don't know. Deep in the night again, you know. But stay ready so you ain't got to get ready, right? Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready, because someone will clean the plate. You know what I mean? Even if it's some nasty food on the plate, someone's going to eat it. Yeah, I was raised, you better not touch that Kool-Aid until you finish that plate.